Video games are generally regarded as an escape, a way to temporarily escape from the familiarity of real life, and generally games are meant to be fun. That is not the case with the game I'll be talking about in this video, and even though I do not find this game particularly fun, I highly recommend it to everybody watching this video. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk is an indie horror game created by Nikita Kryukov and it was released August 26th of 2020. When I picture indie horror, I generally picture something like a monster or a ghost in a dimly lit room where you're not supposed to be. Something akin to the early Paranormal Activity movies or something akin to Blair Witch. That is not the case with Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. This is a game about the utter hell of severe mental illness. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk is a game about going to the grocery store. But with the clever dialogue, it becomes so much more. There are three main characters in the game: the nameless protagonist, a voice inside her head, and you, the player. The only character with a name is you, and that's because you enter your name in at the very beginning of the game, and the protagonist will refer to you by name for the rest of the game. There are a few more characters, such as two quote-unquote monsters inside the grocery store, as well as the characters' mom and dad. But the vast majority of this game's dialogue and the story that's told will be through the three main characters: the nameless protagonist, you, and the voice in her head. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk, in my opinion, is a heart-wrenching story, because you see it time and time again, where something as simple and as convenient as going to the grocery store for some milk can be utter hell for some people with extreme mental illness. While the protagonist is never formally diagnosed in this game, it is very clear that her symptoms are extremely severe. She has trouble seeing other characters as humans at all. It is heavily implied that the monsters that she sees in the grocery store are in fact just another customer there, as well as a cashier working at the register. At one point, the main character is almost hit by a truck, and she's unable to discern what even almost came close to hitting her. She thinks it's a bear with red eyes on the back of its head, when in reality, the red eyes were just the taillights of the truck about to hit her. Again, she cannot discern what is reality. When the character's mother finally appears at the end of the game, she appears soulless, almost demon-like, and the words that she says all appear warped as they come across the screen. Extreme depression is clearly a large symptom of the character. Now, I won't go into too many details, but at the end of the game, she does stand at the edge of a balcony, ready to fall, and she has no fear of heights because she stood up there so often. She just doesn't fear it anymore. In addition to the character's obviously depressing dialogue, the music itself is very melancholic and drony, and it just adds to the atmosphere greatly. It perfectly sets the mood. As the game goes on, the main character's prescription medications seem to be wearing off. She mentions that they don't do as much as they used to, and while she begins the game in a bad spot, she ends the game in an even worse spot than before, implying that the medication essentially does nothing for her. The entire game is presented as a visual novel. Really, the gameplay consists of just choosing dialogue options as the voice inside her head. And these options, they range from being, somewhat snarky, yet at points encouraging or supportive, to being completely hateful and just downright cruel to her. If you choose too many of the mean options, the game will end. She'll declare that you're no help at all, and you'll get sent back to the very beginning of the game. Now, there are save files, so if you do find yourself losing, you can at least reload an old save and continue from where you were. If you choose the nicer options, the character will continue to talk to you, to confide in you. This is the only way to continue the game. Towards the end of the game, you'll stop playing as the voice inside her head, and instead she'll begin talking directly to you. She'll discuss her backstory, the reason she finds herself in such turmoil. She talks about her downward spiral ever since the untimely passing of her father, and this coupled with the music, with the clever dialogue, it's beautiful. I have to say, I found it very beautiful. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk ends with the protagonist returning home. Her mom's awake. While the character tried to initially talk with her mom, say, "Hi, how are you doing? How was your day?" The mom has only cared about the milk. And when she figures out that she brought the milk home, she just tells the character to go to bed. Completely disregards her. The character goes to bed. The story ends. I found this ending hard to stomach. The character went through complete hell just to get the milk from the grocery store, battling off these inner demons. She confided so much to you, and her own mom does not care about her. It's a very bitter note to end the game on. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk took me about 15 minutes to complete on my first playthrough, and that was with taking my time, truly appreciating the music and the dialogue. If you skip through a lot of it, you can easily finish it in under 10 minutes, but I would highly recommend taking your time with this so that you properly get immersed in the atmosphere. While multiple endings are kind of a staple in horror games, this game only has 2 endings. Again, it's the not bad ending where she simply goes to bed, and the bad ending where she completely loses her mind. Those are the only 2 endings in this game. All things considered, I would highly recommend playing Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. It goes on sale on Steam, and when it's not on sale, it only costs $1.49. This game, I have played games that are 20 times more expensive, and they've left 20 times less of an impact on me compared to Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. If you've ever struggled with depression before, or perhaps you know somebody who struggles with depression or other mental illnesses, this game will instantly become relatable, and it will become that much more meaningful to you. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk is eerily beautiful. It's not fun, but it's beautiful, and I highly recommend it to everybody watching this video. If you've ever gone through something or know somebody going through something, this game will become, again, so much more relatable to you and means so much to you. It left a huge impact on me. I believe that if you play it, it will leave a huge impact on you.